people, it's me, Davy Baby, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, please take 2 seconds to go ahead and click the subscribe and notification buttons down below so you don't miss out on any new videos. So as you guys can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be sharing a battle of the setting powders. So a couple of months ago, I did a battle of the skin tints, and you guys kind of actually did like that video, which was really shocking to me. Not shocking, but I didn't think you guys would like it that much. And so I'm like, okay, why don't I share a battle of blank blank blank. So today I wanted to share a battle of the setting powders. I also wanted to do this because I feel like it would help people when it comes to knowing what to set their face with, what might work better for them, what might be their preference. I know people tend to get lost when it comes to makeup, like they don't really know where to start, or they're not really sure what to expect, or what should be like, should this react this way, should it not react this way. So I feel like by doing this video, you guys can have a little versus. It's nothing crazy. It's not really a versus. It's more of a just comparing and seeing what might work better for you, and what might be my favorite may not be your favorite, but it's just to inform you guys. So if you would like to see my battle of the setting powders, stay tuned. I'm gonna first be starting with powders as I got them, what I've been used to. So the first setting powder I've ever used was this Bakerie flower powder, and I actually have it in the shade yellow. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't use it as much anymore. It's not my complete go-to, and that's because it's once it doesn't seep into the skin the way I want it to. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys when it comes to this powder. This is the yellow one, it's not the translucent one. Because of the formulation of it, it doesn't seep into the skin the way I would want it to. Whenever I put it on my makeup, it'll still show, which is fine depending on the look you go for, but this is what the yellow would end up blending on me looking like. One thing I can say about this powder, I think it's a good powder for beginners. 1, 2, 3. I feel like Bakerie is a good powder for beginners because it lets you understand the idea of undertones and where do you place powders, where it might work, because this is not a bad powder. There's nothing wrong with this powder. It's just that it's the kind of powder that has more of a color, it's gonna show up on your skin even if you press it into the skin. So this is something if you're the kind of person who goes for a more highlighted look, this is what you would wear. I feel as if beginners tend to go for a more natural look, it's one-dimensional, you don't have too many things coming on your face. As for someone like me, I'd like to go for a brighter under eye. Sometimes I'll use a yellow powder, sometimes I'll use a regular translucent powder, and then make sure the rest of my face is bronze so you can see the juxtaposition between the center of my face and the outskirt of my face. Another thing I can say is that I like the price point of this powder. It retails for, I believe, $24. You can either pick it up at Ulta or you can get it from the Bakerie website. Because of the price point, I think it's really good for beginners because you still are trying to get a feel of what type of makeup you like, what style of makeup you like, what works for you and what doesn't. So you're not gonna be breaking the bank getting a powder like this if you care for it or if you don't care for it. The next powder I'm going to show you is a powder I just can't seem to get rid of. I love this powder. This powder has been riding for me ever since, and it's I'm still waiting for a brand to take this brand off the charts. And this is what I know this brand to be for. This staple is this powder. And I feel like you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Laura Mercier loose setting powder, and I get it in translucent. I love it in translucent. I actually also have it in deep, I think. Yes, I have it in medium deep as well, but I usually just go for the translucent regular one. And y'all, this powder has taken me through, I've yet to find a powder that compares to this powder for me. The reason I love this powder is because it's so fine milled, and then the color payoff on it, it just seeps into my skin, and I love that. Let me see if I can show you guys. It just, this is how it's gonna look on your face. And then I love after give it 15 minutes when your oils finally seep in. It looks amazing, y'all. It looks amazing. I've yet to find a powder that works the way this does for me when it comes to simply setting my face. I don't use this powder to bake my face. I use it to set my under eyes, my forehead, my chin for the most part. Sometimes I'll even set my whole face with it. Miss Laura has never let me down. That's how hard I ride for her. think of Laura as like the Nicki Minaj of the setting powder game. That's how she is for me. Like, people could rap like her, could be inspired by her, but no one's ever gonna beat her, in my opinion. So the next setting powder that I've tried and I've grown to love is the One Size setting powder. It's their ultimate setting powder. So I originally tried it in the translucent shade. I think it's called, yeah, I tried it in their translucent shade because usually translucent tends to work well for me, especially like with the Laura Mercier. I love translucent. And I wasn't too crazy for it. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't too crazy for this because I feel like it just didn't sit into my skin well. Like, it didn't seep into my skin the way Laura usually would. But then they sent over their deep shade and I was like, okay, let's get into it. Let's try it. And one thing I can say about the deep shade, I like it because I can use it as an all-over powder. So I wouldn't use it to just set like under my eye or my chin or my forehead. I'll use it to set my whole face. The only thing I can say about this powder is that it's a little thicker. I can't explain what it is, but somehow it's a little thicker, like the density of the powder, than the Laura Mercier or other powders that I'm used to. And this one has like a tinge of red. But after a while, I feel like once your oils seep in, it blends in so beautiful with the skin. The next powder, when I got put onto this powder, I was shocked, okay? Because like I told you guys before, I didn't really bake my face. I didn't really set my face with colors usually outside of translucent. Like, sometimes I'd use like a deep dark powder, but for the most part I would use a translucent powder. I hopped onto the Huda Beauty Baby Bake Loose Baking Setting Powder. Oh my god, y'all. And I got it in the shape Kunafa. I use this in like my nose area as well as like under my eyes, sometimes my chin. And the fact that the brightness just brings my skin alive, like it just brings the contrast to my skin. I love it. I'm so mad that I was late to the trend, but this just leaves the most beautiful finish to my face. Don't get me wrong, I'm still not baking. I'll set it into my face to the point where like you can still see the color, but you're not gonna see it standing there as if it was baking. And it gives a beautiful finish. I feel like this powder is a little thicker than the Laura Mercier, but I do like it for the fact that I'm using it as a yellow shade to highlight. Now the next powder, I'm shocked that I actually liked it because it's supposed to be a translucent powder, but in the packaging, y'all, it's not giving translucent. It's giving white. It's giving white. But the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder in translucent. Let me show y'all this is what it looks like in the package. This doesn't look translucent. This looks white. This looks baby powder white. So y'all understand why I was tripping a little bit. I was like, oh no, this is not gonna be good, but I still have to try it. And I love this powder. I use this powder as a all-around setting powder. I'll use it all over my face once I'm like in between my foundation and setting spray, like somewhere in between there, that's when I will use it. One thing I will say is that I don't think this powder is like beginner friendly because like I said, although it is translucent, I feel like if you have a hefty hand, which a lot of beginners tend to have, you will look casket ready using this powder. That's the only thing I think people should be mindful of. I love this powder. I feel like it gives such a good, not to say matte, but a very satin finish to your face. But you do need to be wary of how much you put on. Okay guys, well that's it for all of the setting powder. At the end of the day, I would say I do love each powder in their own way, but I feel like that's come with like playing with them, figuring out what works for me, what I like, what I don't like, my style of makeup. I feel in order for you to figure out which powder might work for you, you just gotta play around. Or if you're the kind of person, you're a beginner and you're trying to see where should you start, I would say maybe try something that's like at a lower price point. Don't go for the extra bougie ones like Laura Mercier. I love her to death. I love her to death. But baby runs like $40 something just for that one packaging, okay? If you're the kind of person you don't know what you're doing, don't go spending $40 and then you waste all that powder. You're gonna love it. I'm sure you're gonna love it because I feel like there's no one I know that doesn't love Laura Mercier. But you might go overboard. I think you should take your time learning. I hope this video could have been insightful for you guys when it comes to learning more about makeup and what might work for you. If you have any recommendations or anything else you might want to see on this channel comparing any other type of makeup products, let me know down below in the comments and I'll be sure to make a video for you guys. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!